Hello everyone. Today we will going to discuss about a topic called projectile motion. All right. So what is projectile motion? Projectile motion is basically a two-dimensional motion. All right. So if we consider this is x-axis and this is supposed to be y-axis. All right. And if we throw any particle with initial speed of u, okay, if we throw any particle with initial speed of u, so this u has two components. One is uy component. We can resolve this. U means the initial velocity of the particle. All right, and let's this initial velocity makes angle theta with the x-axis. Now we can resolve this u into two components. One is along the vertical component, we call it uy. Another along the horizontal component, we call it ux. All right. And if we draw the trajectory or path of this particle or this projectile, the path is parabolic. Okay. So we have discussed later why this is parabolic. So this kind of motion is known as projectile motion. There are so many and lots of examples there are for projectile motions. Like if we consider the trajectory of any football, when footballer kick a football, the trajectory of football is like this. Or if we throw any particle, so it's if we throw any particle, so this trajectory is called the projectile. Parabolic path is called projectile. If you throw any particle in the plane, so that's why we call it motion of plane also. All right. So this is the example of projectile. All right. This is the example of projectile. So first, what we have to do is a particle. Its speed is u. Basically, we throw the particle with the initial speed u. We resolve this u into two components. One is along the vertical component, other one along the horizontal component, ux and uy. All right. So basically, if we write for projectile motion, the projectile motion means motion along x-axis plus motion along y-axis. All right. So projectile means motion along x-axis and motion along y-axis. Or we can simply say that projectile motion means horizontal motion plus vertical motion. All right. Horizontal motion plus vertical motion. So projectile motion means horizontal motion plus vertical motions. Basically, we can resolve this u, that is initial velocity, into two components as we discussed, ux and uy. All right. And it makes angle theta. This u velocity, the velocity, or you can say this initial velocity u, makes angle theta with x-axis. Now what is the meaning of projectile? The meaning of projectile is motion on x-axis plus motion on y-axis. Or we can say projectile motion means horizontal motion plus vertical motion. All right. Now look, if we derive for the expression of projectile, all right, so what we have to do is, basically this ux component is nothing but u cos theta. All right. And uy component is how much? This uy component is u sin theta. Okay. This ux component is u cos theta and uy component is u sin theta. All right. Now, if we write down the equation for the x-axis, so x equal to ux into t. All right, ux into t. This is the motion along x-axis. X equal to ux into t. Because along x-axis, particle moving with a constant speed, or you can say this ux is always same. That's why we can write x equal to ux into t. Okay. But if we write down for the vertical component, so y equal to basically uyt minus half gt square. है ना? UIT minus half gt square. Why we have considered y equal to uyt minus half gt square? Because gravity is always acting downward directions. So due to acceleration due to gravity in the vertical component, we can write y equal to uyt minus half gt square, where uy is the initial velocity along the y component. Alright. So basically this is uyt minus half gt square. G is the always acceleration to gravity which is always act in downward direction. It is the acceleration to gravity which is always act in downward directions. So this is the equation for the y component. So x equal to ux into t, and y equal to uyt minus half gt square. This is the equation for x and y. X component and y component. Okay. So now we can derive the different terms for projectile. Alright. So what we have discussed now, we have discussed what is projectile motion. We can say projectile motion is always equal to two-dimensional motion. It is horizontal motion. It is the combination of horizontal motion plus vertical motions. Now any particle we can throw it with the initial speed u. We can resolve this u into two components, ux and uy. Alright. Ux equal to u cos theta and uy equal to u sin theta. If we write down the equation for x-axis, this is x equal to ux into t and y equal to uyt minus half gt square. Alright. Now we can derive the different terms for the projectile. Okay. So first we have seen that how we derive the equation of how we derive the time of flight for the projectile. Okay, time of flight for the projectile. So let us discuss time of flight. Okay, let us discuss the time of flight. All right. Time of flight for the projectile. Okay. Time of flight for the projectile. We call it capital T. Alright. So what is time of flight? Look, if we consider projectile motion, as we know, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. And suppose initial speed of the particle is u, which makes an angle theta with the x-axis. So we can break this u as a two component. One is a ux, another is uy. Alright, uy, and path of the projectile is a parabolic, like this. Path of the projectile. As we know, its vertical component is always same, that is, it is a velocity of vertical component or speed of the vertical component is always same, right? It's always constant. But horizontal component is changes. Sorry, vertical component changes and velocity alone, horizontal component is always same. Vertical component changes, right? Vertical component changes. Okay, so it's the vertical component. Horizontal component is always fixed, but vertical component maybe changes. Alright, always changes. So now what we have to do is first we can find out the time of flight for the projectile. So what is the time of flight? Let us discuss the time of flight for the projectile. Okay, look. Suppose we consider one particle at t equal to supposed to be 0, here x equal to 0. At after time at t equal to t second, particle is at x equal to x. Alright, this is the particle. So after t second, particle will be again x axis. So time required for this complete journey means time required when particle return to x axis once again. If we throw a particle, so time required for the particle when return to x axis once again, this entire time is called the time of flight of the projectile. Okay, this entire time is called the time of flight of the projectile. This is the total time. Total time required when particles once again return back to the x-axis or the horizontal, right? On the x-axis once again. Return back to ground, we can also say this is the time required to particle when particle return back to ground. Alright. Look, so how can we find the time of flight? As we have two equations as x equal to uxt, or you can say x equal to u cos theta into t, and another equation is y equal to uyt minus half gt square, right? we can also write this as y equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square. Okay, so what is the time of flight? Look in this diagram, when the y component of this particle is 0, when the y component of this particle is 0, in the place of y component we can put 0. Okay, it is u sin theta into t minus 1 by 2 gt square. So in this way we can write minus u sin theta equal to minus gt square. All right, so minus minus cancel out, u sin theta equal to g capital T square. Here time is represented by capital T for time of flight. All right, into t, there is also into t there, u sin theta into t, because u into t, u into t. Okay, u sin theta into t equal to half gt square. All right, so basically this 1 t and t is cancel out, and we can write t equal to 2u sin theta by g. All right, this t equal to 2u sin theta by g. Basically this is the expression for time of flight for the projectile. This is the expression for time of flight of the projectile. This t equal to 2u sin theta by g. This we call is the time of flight of the projectile, that is total time required for the projectile when it return back to ground once again. This is the time of flight for the projectile. Okay, this is our first term. Now the next term we called horizontal range. What is horizontal range? The maximum displacement along the horizontal component. The maximum displacement of particle along the horizontal component is called range, maximum range, and range is the displacement along the horizontal component. Okay, so let's find out the term range. All right, what is range? Means if we throw any projectile, suppose we throw this particle, small chalk, it moves a certain distance along x-axis also. So this distance is called maximum range. This maximum distance is called maximum range. So and the horizontal distance is simply called the range, right? For example, if we throw any particle, it depends on what distance it moves along the x-axis, and if we measure this distance, that is this horizontal distance, we throw any particle, so it has a two distance, horizontal and vertical. If we calculate the horizontal distance, all right, if we calculate this horizontal distance or displacement, you can say, we call it a range. All right, we call it a range. All right, this range is also depends upon the angle. So let's find what is horizontal range of the projectile. Horizontal range. We denote by R. Okay. So let's discuss what is horizontal range. As we have seen these two equations, x equal to ux into t and x equal to u cos theta t, or x equal to ux into t, or x equal to u cos theta into t, because ux equal to u cos theta, and y equal to uyt minus half gt square, as we have seen these two equations. Now what we can write as x equal to ux into capital T. In place of t, this is 2u sin theta by g, and t is nothing but 2u sin theta by g. So x equal to basically 2u ux into t. For time of flight we can put the value 2u sin theta by g. Okay, for calculating the range, because x equal to ux into t, this is the horizontal displacement, we call it also horizontal range. So this x is nothing but ux means u cos theta into 2u sin theta, all right, 2u sin theta divided by g. So we can solve it further. So x equal to how much? It is 2. U into u is u square and sin theta into cos theta. So we can also write this is u square 2 sin theta cos theta by g. Okay, x equal to u square 2 sin theta cos theta into g. So in the place of 2 sin theta cos theta, we can write sin 2 theta, right? So here we can write x equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. X equal to u square sin 2 theta by g, है ना? X equal to u square sin 2 theta by g, right? This is the expression for range. We call it horizontal range. So in the place of x we can also write r, है ना? Because range is can be denoted by r. So basically this r equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. This is called the horizontal range of the projectile. See, what happens is range is always depends the angle theta, and range is also depend the angle theta by which angle we throw the particle. Okay, it's depend on the this angle theta is depend on the range. Okay, so this is the formula for range, that is r equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. Right, now let's find what is the maximum range for this projectile. Let's find what is the maximum range for the projectile, right? So we have considered an important case, how to find the maximum range for the projectile. Okay, so let's discuss how to find the maximum range of the projectile, maximum horizontal range. Maximum range for the projectile, or we call it maximum horizontal range, that is Rmax. Look, so how can we find the maximum range? Because r equal to u square sin 2 theta by g, and maximum value of sin theta is 1, है ना? So in place of theta we can write 45 degree. When we write theta equal to 45 degree, then 2 theta, that is 2 into 45, this sin becomes 90 degree, and as we know the maximum value of sin theta is 1, है ना? So from here we can write Rmax, that is maximum range. Rmax equal to u square, in place of sin 2 theta we can write sin 90 degree divided by g, है ना? Divided by g. So this becomes Rmax becomes u square by g. We call it the maximum horizontal range. We call it maximum horizontal range. Okay, this is the formula for maximum horizontal range, and this is the formula for horizontal range. So r is, when r is max, if we throw any particle with a certain angle called theta 45 degree, then our range is maximum, right? So what we have discussed till, we have discussed what is the time of flight, you know, what is the time of flight, as well as we have discussed what is the maximum range. Okay, now we have discussed one more thing, when this range, that is when ranges are equal, है ना? When ranges are equal, for which angle? So look, suppose if we throw a particle with angle theta, है ना? So its range is supposed to be r1, for example. Range is supposed to be r1. This is the range r1. Now look, if we throw a particle with another angle, for example, this angle is supposed to be 90 minus theta with the same speed, है ना? With the same speed, but angle is different. First we throw the particle with angle theta, then we throw the particle with angle 90 minus theta. And if we write down the value of range, so for theta we consider What is the value of range? Range is, है ना, range is how much? It is u square sine 2 theta by g. When we consider for angle for 90 minus theta, when we put angle 90 minus theta, so then the range becomes u square sine 2 theta, that is 2 90 minus theta. So what we called by g, that is r equal to u square sine 180 minus theta divided by g. So this 180 minus theta also sine 2 theta, sine 180 minus 2 theta, yes, 180 minus 2 theta, no? So this sine 180 minus 2 theta is also sine theta. So this range 2, this is range 1, no? This is also this value is also how much? This R2 is u square sine 2 theta by g. Alright. So this range is also same. This is R2. So here R1 equal to R2. है ना? Here R1 equal to R2. That is, range is always same for two complementary angle theta and 90 minus theta. For these two angle, range of the projectile is always same. Means if we throw any particle with a certain speed, once if we throw any particle with certain angle called theta, and if we throw the particle with another angle called 90 minus theta, the range will be always same. So if we throw any particle with angle 30 degree, its range is always equal to angle 60, 90 minus 30. Alright. Or we can say if we throw any particle with a speed 50 with the angle 50 degree, so its range is always same at 70 degree also, 90 minus 50. 90 minus 50. That is on yeah. If we throw any particle with 30 degree, so its range is always same at 90 minus 30, that is 60. If we throw any particle with a 50 degree, its range is always same for 90 minus 50, that is 20. So this range is always same. So range is always same for the complementary angle, that is 90 minus theta. If this is our theta, this angle should be 90 minus theta. Okay? So range is alright. So range is same for 30 and 60. Similarly, range is same for 50 and 20 and so on. So range is always same at theta and 90 minus theta if the speed is same. Okay? If the initial of the particle is same. So this is a concept of range. Alright. Now third concept we have discussed called maximum height. Third concept is called maximum height. Alright. Maximum height of the projectile. So let us discuss maximum height for the projectile. Maximum height. We denote it by capital H. Okay. Let the x component, this is y component. And if we consider projectile motion, this angle is theta, this is the u initial speed, this is ux component and ui component, initial velocity is u. Okay. Now what we have to find is maximum height. This is called the maximum height of the projectile. This is called the maximum height of the projectile. This is called maximum height of the projectile. Alright. So how can we find the maximum height? Look. As we have discussed earlier, this ux component for projectile is always same. This ux component for projectile is always same. That is x component velocity is always same. This ux is always same for the projectile. Only vertical component may changes. Vertical component definitely changes, but ux component is always same for the projectile. So here velocity along vertical component at maximum height. Look, velocity along ux component is always same, but velocity of vertical component velocity of vertical component is always changes. So this velocity keep on decreasing at the highest point, that is when h equal to h max, at the highest point of the projectile, this vertical velocity becomes 0. This vertical velocity becomes 0. vertical velocity becomes 0, but there only horizontal velocities exist, right? Now if we try to find out the maximum height for this projectile, we can use the formula v square minus u square equal to 2gh, है ना? h is h max here. Okay, now how can we find this? 2gh minus 2gh, g is always negative. Now velocity along y component is always 0, है ना? This is 0. ui is the initial velocity along the vertical component, so it is u sin theta, u square sin square theta minus 2 times g into h, minus cancel out. All right, so if we calculate the h max, height max, this becomes u square sin square theta by 2g. This is the formula for maximum height of the projectile. This is the formula for the maximum height of the projectile, h max. This is the formula for maximum height, h max. It is nothing but u square sin square theta by 2g. This is the formula for maximum height of the projectile. All right. Now one more thing we can derive from here: relation between maximum height and range. Relation between maximum height and range for the projectile. All right. Relation between maximum height and range. So how can we find the relation between maximum height and range? Look, we have know the formula for maximum height. This h max is nothing but u square sin square theta by 2g, and we also know the formula for range. Its formula is r equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. This is equation number 1. This is equation number 2. है ना? If we divide these two equations, that is equation 1 by 2, so what will we get? H max by r is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g, and what is range? U square sin 2 theta by g. So this g cancel out, u square is cancel out, right? So we can write down from here what we can do. Look, so this sin 2 theta can be break this sin square theta by 2, and this is 2 sin theta cos theta. All right, 2 sin theta cos theta. So basically this sin theta is cancel out, sin theta cancel out. So this becomes sin theta by cos theta is cot theta, and 2 to 4. So cot theta divided by 4, h max by r. All right, cot theta by 4. We can say cot theta by 4, or we can also say this r is nothing but r by h is nothing but r by h max is nothing but this is, all right, this is 4 by cot theta, 4 by cot theta, and 1 by cot theta is tan theta, so we can write it 4 tan theta, 4 tan theta. So r by h max is nothing but 4 tan theta. Okay, this is the relation for maximum height and range of the projectile. So this is all about the projectile motion. Today we have discussed about the maximum range of the projectile, what is the maximum height, all right, then what is the time of flight for the projectile, as well as the relation